You could live to regret this for the rest of your life. Right now, we are facing the potential for an absolutely explosive rally towards the upside. And having studied what's been going on with XRP over the last few years, as well as what's happening with Ethereum and other cryptos in the space, something very sinister has been going on. And in this video, I'm going to explain exactly what that is and look at what cryptocurrencies I'm holding right now to be able to position myself for a very exciting bull market. Hit the like button and let's dive into today's video. Now. Where to start? Well, first of all, we're going to look at a bit of what's going on in Bitcoin, and then I want to look at some kind of like other shady stuff to do with XRP and Ethereum. The reason is because Bitcoin, if you look at this chart here, then we can start to see that we've just gone back above the 20 SMA. Look at every time since then we've gone over the 20 SMA from a previous bear market. You can see that we then rallied towards the upside. And yes, here there was the COVID crash, a black swan event. And most people are still waiting for that black swan event. But I'm going to tell you in this video why that's never gonna happen. This is the average performance of Bitcoin in every month. And you can see that September typically is a red month. However, we have just had a green month in the Bitcoin price, because Bitcoin started September at around 25,700. And currently, today, the 1st of October, is set at $27,300. Then you can see that the most profitable months typically in Bitcoin sit in October and then into November. This is very, very important because this tells us that back in August, we actually faked out towards the downside and now we're starting to print more positive candles. Could we potentially see very bullish outcomes? You can see here, November typically averages over 40% towards the upside in the Bitcoin price. And everyone whose narrative has always been talking about the halving, well, right now, if you look, we are 200 days away from the halving. And typically this means you are running out of time. Now, lots of people I know will be shouting out, but this guy and that guy and the recession and all this like FUD and bad stuff. This is something I want to address. Now, something came to my attention and it was this news article. Don't worry, I'm not going to go and talk all the time about Cardano and XRP. But Cardano founder, Charles Hodgkinson, basically hammered XRP, saying that, you know, it was a security and all this blah, blah, blah. Okay. As we know, XRP has been under a huge amount of scrutiny by the SEC for the last few years on whether or not it's a security. One of the big arguments was because it was pre-mined, which many people said basically then kind of like created assets that then people could sell off as securities. A lot of other projects did this. Ethereum did this. And what he basically said to bring about this article was that maybe behind the scenes in Ethereum to have avoided this kind of flack and to be able to get along with Bitcoin, there was some shady deals going under the table. Now, for a long time, I've kind of thought of the UK and the US of being beyond the days of all these shady deals. Until the other day, I heard a story about a defense contract in the UK and how someone managed to win a particular defense contract. Now, I'm not going to go into too much depth on that for obvious reasons, but it opened up my eyes to the whole game that is going on behind the scenes and all the narratives and all these bits and pieces that are just designed to pull the wool over your eyes. Now, I'm not going to get into the huge debate of whether XRP deserves to be in a lawsuit and all that good stuff, but it's quite evident that XRP has been targeted when other projects out there have kind of been ignored. And at the same time, Settle has done a deal with the US government to support members of the US banking community in a proof of concept for a regulated digital asset settlement program. And what does that mean? Well, Settle does similar stuff to XRP, but in a very centralized way, which means it can then be regulated. And this deal kind of has been around in the works like since around 2021. Doesn't it make sense that you would have a centralized, more well-controlled platform as far as the banks and everyone else is concerned than using XRP? So maybe XRP has just been put under the cosh to stop its development from taking place, which I know will be a very popular piece of sentiment with the XRP army. I'm not going to go full-blown like flat earther on this. I do like a bit of a conspiracy now and then, and I do see that but maybe not everything is quite what it adds up to, but obviously the earth is round. Now, no matter where you look, there is more data and more information to support the potential for a rally, or at least to indicate that we've seen the lows we've already seen. And actually what you can see in terms of low losses versus high profits, these like dumps towards the downside, we haven't seen a dump towards the downside like the one we saw this summer since that black swan event, which was COVID-19. Now, the scenario people are waiting for is potentially some sort of piece of information or whatever it is to come in and slam the crypto market, you know, whether it's like Binance going under or whatever it is. But right now, from a simple perspective, not thinking about when the halving is, not thinking about what's really going on outside in the recession stuff, all this like recession chat and interest rates and all that jazz, because actually Bitcoin this year is up 65%. All of this stuff has all been talked about all year. Bitcoin has no right being up 65%, which means that it's not being controlled and doesn't really have too much of a link, despite what people think it does, with the kind of wider macro environment. And what is it about this time of year that gets people excited? Well, throughout this year, we've already seen some good growth. And then once you get into September, October, there starts to become issues with global liquidity. And as liquidity starts to fall, you can see that typically from October, it rallies up towards the upside. And this, as you can see from this chart here, you can see the fall in the Bitcoin price coming towards the end of this area, which typically is what leads to October being strong. Despite the DXY, the US dollar pushing extremely hard and extremely high right now, things couldn't be more bullish across crypto. And at a time when everyone out there is screaming that the cryptos are going to go lower, when am I going to get a chance to buy lower? I think realistically for a lot of crypto projects, you may have missed the absolute bottom. So I need to ask myself, sitting here right now, if Bitcoin goes and continues to rally higher, bearing in mind that last time it broke out from a range like this, it moved in a very short space of time, around 19%. If it moves from here 19%, then you're looking up towards 32k. And considering that we are a completion of this pattern here, which is like a kind of a big megaphone pattern, and the fact that this typically breaks towards the upside and we'll see a continuation potentially towards 40k, which will drag the rest of crypto up aggressively, can I live with myself if that happens? On the flip side of things, let's say everything goes wrong, goes tits up, all the money I've got involved in crypto right now, can I live with the fact that I might be down for the rest of the year 50%? Bearing in mind that in the next 200 days, we're moving towards the halving. 200 days away. Can I survive 200 days being in the red? Personally, I can. Because personally, I'm not trying to make money right this second. I'm looking to make money in the bull market. Bearing in mind the prices are low right now, the bull market is coming, whether it comes right now, whether it comes in the next few weeks, whether it comes in the next year. It's going to come at some point. And if you don't believe it's going to come, then don't bother. Don't watch videos, go and do something else because you're wasting your time, because you're not going to invest at any point. But if you believe in the narrative that it's going to happen, then ask yourself right now, can I afford to, one, miss out? Or can I afford to be down a little bit for some period of time? Now, Bitcoin is not the best example right now because we've already seen Bitcoin is pretty high towards the upside. And I've been talking about all the time on this channel for the last few months, and not because they're sponsored videos. I know there's a few like new YouTubers out there who are trying to say that every time any YouTuber shouts out like Solana or Ethereum or whatever, that it's a sponsored video, it's complete BS. Guys, projects as big as Solana and Ethereum are not paying people like me who've got like 40,000 subscribers to shout out their projects. They might be going for like Coin Bureau, who's got like 2.5 million, but he does some pretty good honest reviews anyway. Or they might go after Altcoin Daily or whatever. But, you know, just good, honest reviews. I will from time to time promote projects, and I'll tell you when I promote them, but I'm not promoting Solana, okay? If Solana wants to pay me, I will happily accept because it's class. Now, what I've been telling you about Solana was we are in this kind of lower range. What's very interesting as well is you can see that we are bouncing, and we have bounced across here. Now, a lot of people have thrown a lot of shade about Solana, and then we can see that I was talking about this the other day on a video. We were in a buy zone here, and since then we're up 28%. These projects are starting to rally because they've been squashed towards the downside. This is a really big benefit we've got because Bitcoin's starting to play its hand, and because of the path to altcoin season, we can now identify which projects are likely going to have strong runs because they've been doing it in the last couple of days. These projects that are starting to show a bit of strength here, Solana is one, Veracity is another, which has had an absolutely storming surge towards the upside in the last few days. These are some of the coins that are showing that they're in a strong position, that they've been undervalued and held under, and are now starting to show they're going to push through. Now, I would be cautious right this second of diving into Veracity, which has already seen this pump of what, 35-40%. And what I'm looking for really, if you were trying to get in now and you weren't getting in before, is either you're going to break through and pull back towards this zone, or you might pull back and establish an area like this where you can see a double bottom. Okay, teach yourself not to FOMO into like candles that have seen like 4 days of pumpage. 40% up is a big pump. You don't want to be like sold into. Okay, Casper has obviously had an extremely strong run, but as I've already talked about, I'm kind of waiting for this to kind of play out. It does appear to be running into some significant resistance. I do think we're going to have a dip down and eventually some form of a pullback to at least this kind of area down here. So I'm kind of waiting for that area, which, you know, is around a 55% pullback. Now, I know a lot of people get upset by this, but Casper has had a really, really strong move early on in this market, decoupled from Bitcoin. Okay, so if Bitcoin starts to pump and stuff, I can't really see a huge amount of money flowing into Casper just yet, because everyone who wants to get into Casper is already in Casper. Okay, so that's kind of my thoughts. That's my 2 cents on that. Obviously, you're free to disagree with me. Now, there are other coins that are going to show some good volatility that perhaps have still been a little bit quiet. XLM is one of them, okay? And we can see XLM is again in a very interesting area. Now, if you're new to this channel or you're new to charts, I recommend going to tradingview.com, which is free. But what I'm going to show you here, hopefully will make a very simple bit of sense, okay? This is XLM. This is a one-day chart. So each of these candles equals 1 day of action, up and down. And you can see that every time XLM has returned to this kind of area over the last, well, since the 16th of August, you'll see that it's been starting to get bought up. Now, these wicks towards the downside show that it gets bought up, and then these big kind of pushes out show that it's getting bullish action. Does it again here. So it makes sense that here, at some point, you could see continuation for it to get bought up again. How do I know that? Well, look, you can look at the prices and how it moves out of this zone. It strongly moves out of this zone, which means at this value, people with lots of money who are prepared to buy it think it's good value. We know that this is considered to be a good value box. If it sits here, it's probably good value. If it gets under here, it's even better value. Simple, okay? However, if we look up here, you can see it's probably not such good value, because last time it got up here, it got sold off once, twice, 3 times. That's not to say at some point it can't break through, and it's not to say at some point it can't break through. But we're looking for good value right now. Good value can be seen here in XLM. HBar, another very popular coin. We can see it's had some kind of interesting stuff going on, various big news announcements. It did a very good solid run at the start of this year off some bullish action from Bitcoin. That could potentially happen again. I was a little bit more concerned to see how quickly and aggressively it got sold off after these peaks. That was some good news that happened for HBar, but then typically sold off pretty strongly. Now, this zone of interest right now, is it good value? Now, looking at the value kind of area for HBar, you would have to say would be somewhere around here. And you can see that because originally it did bounce here, although it went underneath and then wicked back up. This is clearly an area that HBar is getting bought up at. It's considered good value, kind of under 5 cents really. It is a little bit over 5 cents right now. So, you know, you could potentially be trying to get a pullback of 11%. If you're trying to get a pullback of 11%, then is it worth waiting, or do you take a bit of a punt? It's up to you pretty much, okay? Now, obviously, I'm looking at this from a bullish perspective. I'm pretty confident we're going higher from these kind of areas. I can't see an area of time when we're going to get a significant pullback, okay? And I might be wrong, of course, so you need to do your own research and understand whether or not you're going to be happy that if you buy into HBar right now and something drastic happens and it swings all the way back down to lows, 31% or 30% down, can you live with yourself for 2 months or 3 months or 4 months of being 30 or 40% down in your portfolio? If you can, then it makes sense to be onboarding during buy zones. As far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, do your own research, blah, blah, blah. Who else? Quant. Quant looks really damn good right now. Okay, why does Quant look good? Well, look at this chart, okay? Every time, or not every time, but a few times we've been in this zone, this green zone here. Look at it, it rallies here. How much does it rally? That's like 79%. Comes back down, touches it again. Does 66% here. You can see it goes underneath this buy zone, okay? The kind of the accumulation phase where everything's gone a bit too far, and then it returns to kind of its value here, 61%. And then into September last year, look, 151%. Look, every time it returns this area, it's getting bought up. And then it does this. This is what you are really looking for. This is something that gets me excited, okay? As far as crypto is concerned. Once it dips under this buy zone, like this, you can see it then gets bought back up. And very soon it's going to interact with this line. If we can get up and break beyond this line, then you're going to see Quant having a very aggressive move, in my opinion, particularly in line with what's going on in the rest of crypto. And look, this is why these buy zones are really key, because most of the time the price will turn around in the buy zone. Okay, so you get a good chance to know you're comfortably buying in the right place. And on occasion, it will come below the buy zone, at which point it becomes extremely good value. I've been talking about it recently in the last few days, and you can see since then, it's now up 11%. Okay, so what I'm saying is, as soon as it falls below a certain value, lots of people want to buy it. Just think about something in normal real life, okay? If you think about like an iPhone, if suddenly iPhones fell down to like $400, lots of people who didn't originally own an iPhone would rush to go and buy an iPhone for $400. Now, then they buy it, there's less iPhones available, the price of them goes back up again to a point at which people don't want to buy them anymore. Then there's more availability and they start to come down. This is very simple, okay? And who else? This project, Render, okay? I've talked about Render Network. Now, in my opinion, all the projects I've talked about today are all doing something different. They're all unique, okay? They might offer a use case that's completely unique. They may have a use case that's similar to others, but done in a very unique way. For example, HBar, with its kind of whole host of governing bodies and all that exciting stuff. Render Network offers rendering services on blockchain, like kind of cloud rendering services, and that is something very unique, very interesting. Veracity, with its interaction with GameFi, esports, all its interaction it's doing with proof of advertising and all that good stuff. These are all kind of unique projects, and right now, it's kind of straightforward, I think you'll admit, okay? Now, in my opinion, there's a handful of projects that I've talked about, and there is obviously more, which I might not have mentioned today, that you just kind of need exposure to. In my opinion, you spread yourself across 10 different projects right now, and then you can kind of chop and change a bit as you kind of move up. But all of these projects, especially the ones that are undervalued right now, that have shown earlier on this year that there's good volatility in them, will see explosive moves at some point, and then you just got to start taking profits out of them. And then at some point in the next year, you're going to start to see all these new exciting crypto projects that will have ICOs, that will actually perform at ICO, because new projects launching into bull markets that have ICOs do tend to do quite well. Now guys, that is a lot of talking, I'm aware. Now guys, as someone who's been in crypto for a little while now, I've realized that the community itself is quite small, and you can benefit massively getting in and beating some of the people behind these new projects. Now guys, on the 5th and 6th of October, Zebu Live is happening in London. It's going to be an enormous crypto Web3 event with names such as Raoul Pal, Stephen Bartlett, and even myself in attendance. It'd be awesome to catch up with some of you who want to attend. Therefore, there's a link down below in the description where you'll get up to 25% off for your ticket. There's loads of different bits and pieces going on. There's conferences, dinners, after parties, investor chats, side events, and networking. You can go to a DGens Den pitch competition where you can go and hear new crypto projects pitching. You'll start to understand a little bit more about venture capital and how these projects are raising money, as well as speaking to some of the people who are behind some of your favorite crypto projects. Web3 gaming demos, VIP riverboat reception, NFT galleries, and so many other things. If you're serious about getting into crypto and continuing to build, then I really highly recommend that you get yourself down to an event, whether it's this one, whether it's another one in the future, because they are really, really exciting. I'll leave a link for this down below, guys. 25% off, exclusive with the House of Crypto. Thanks for watching. I will see you very soon in another video. Bye-bye.